Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be going back into the Ranked Draft Core Sweat Set 2020. So, you know, it's going to speak for itself. Don't want to do too much of an introduction. Let's just get into it, shall we? Just going to open up loads of Core Set 2020 packs, and then we're going to go 7-0. So, we'll see what we can do. Yeah, we need to go about 5 wins to, like, go virtually infinite. 6, technically, if you want to go actually infinite, but yeah, we're going to be sticking 750 gems into this. And honestly, probably around 4 is where you get your money's worth, but, you know, we'll see. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? Let's do this. Okay, so our first rare is Shifting Ceratops. 4 mana, 5/4. Cannot be countered. Protection from blue. And gains the choice of Reach, Trample, or Haste. That's a pretty sick card. Pretty sick card. I can't see myself not picking that. Let's try the different layout. That should be better for you guys, I think. Lot bigger on the list. What else is in here? Well, there's a fair bit of green, so Pulse of Marassa's fine. Silverback Shaman's pretty decent, I suppose. And Feral Invocation can be a fair, decent combat trick that kind of carries over, so it's not too bad. Other than that, what else am I looking at here? Nothing too crazy in the pack, to be honest. I might take like a Rapacious Dragon. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I'm just going to take the Shifting Ceratops and kind of hope that maybe green is going to be a good choice. But obviously, don't want to stick to that too hard. Pacifism's decent removal, as is Chandra's Outrage, so we could go with that. If we're going to consider the Shifting Ceratops our bomb, then secondary is our removal, because I'm not seeing any bombs here. There's Unholy Indenture. Enchant creature. When enchanted creature dies, return that card to the battlefield under your control with a +1/+1 counter on it. But, I don't know. It seems like it's pretty easy to blow out, and honestly, probably anything that dies is going to die on my opponent's terms. So, you know, probably not going to do that. I'm tempted to go for one of these two. I think, like, green-red might be better than green-white. I don't know my instinct on that. But this seems better than a Pacifism, which can be removed. Most things should die to a Chandra's Outrage, so I think that's what I'm going to take for now. So we're sort of in the green-red value train right now. If we're going on that train, then there is Leafkin Druid as a little bit of ramp. For everything else, there's Bone to Ash, which is likely to get some decent value. Captivating Gaia. It's a pretty decent bounce spell, but for 6 mana, it's probably pushing it. There's Griffin Protector, 4 mana, 2/3 flyer. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, this gains +1/+1. I don't know what I take here. I'm not really high on most of these cards, to be honest, in the set, so I might kind of stick to my colours on this one. Veil of Summer's more of a sideboard tech kind of card, and we're playing best of 1, so, you know, that might be... I would have taken that card if we were playing best of 3, I think, but I think I'm just going to go for the Leafkin Druid and hope for something to ramp into. I mean, we've got a Barkhide Troll. That's not too bad. Pretty aggressive 3/3 for 2 mana. It does kind of lock us into green. But we were kind of thinking about doing something like that to begin with. There is Reduced to Ashes as well. Green is mediocre in this current hand, other than the Barkhide Troll. And red is just, as far as I'm concerned, it's just Reduced to Ashes. Could take the Fixing in the Bloodfell Caves if we want to take any black. I don't think I've seen too much black, though, that I really care for. Gorging Vulture's kind of okay, I suppose, but 3 mana, 2/2 flyer. Probably want to, like, aspire to something greater than that if I'm going to splash it. I'm just going to take the Barkhide Troll. See if we can make green-red work. Going to need some fixing, perhaps, but we can do something with that. Ooh, Scampering Scorcher. It's a pretty decent spell. Enters the battlefield, you make 2/1/1 red elemental creature tokens, and elementals you control gain haste until the end of the turn. If we can get Risen Reef, then we could do Teamer. The blue wasn't too bad from what I saw. Yeah, let's take the Scorcher. Alright, there's our fixing in Gift of Paradise. Could take the Vorst Claw, but I think I'd rather take the fixing. It kind of opens us up to a 3-colour deck if we really want to go that route. And honestly, like, short of Vorst Claw, I don't know. Could see an Infuriate, but honestly, I think Gift of Paradise is probably just better. And another Leafkin Druid. All the ramp today. Ooh, Rugged Highlands, actually, though. Yeah, I think if we're running Bark-Eyed Troll and we're trying to splash a second colour, I think I'd rather take the fixing in the Rugged Highlands here. Enter tapped, gain 1 life. It's not too often that you end up taking fixing in a draft deck like this, but honestly, this is pretty decent. It's nice to have. Goblin Smuggler, 3 mana 2/2 with haste. Another target creature you control with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. 2 or less. It's not going to be much likely, but I mean, if we take the counter off Bark-Eyed Troll, then it's unblockable. It's probably the best thing in here, right? Target creature can't be blocked this turn. Me. I think I'd just take the Goblin Smuggler, to be honest. Keep our creature plan going. We got the Feral Invocation back. So I think that's what we're going to take here. +2/+2 with Flash. Wolfkin Bond. 5 mana, give a +2/+2, and then also make a 2/2. I'm not too sure on that one. I could see maybe like Unsummon as kind of like a delay tactic, since we are kind of going into the more of the long game kind of thing. Also, with the amount of auras we've been picking up, I kind of imagine that an Unsummon would probably be decent in this format. I'm not sure if I'm going to play blue yet, but I think it's probably better than Wolfkin Bond. I could also see maybe a Plummet, though. Kill a creature with flying. Usually comes out to be quite decent, right? Solid sideboard material. I don't know, maybe we can find something along this line that's a little bit more well-placed in dealing more stuff, because I think there's a red card that destroys an artifact and also has the ability to destroy a creature with flying, and since we're in red, I'd probably wait on that card rather than just a creature with flying that we might never see. I'm going to take the Unsummon, but I'm going to put it in the sideboard for now. See if we want to take it, and I think for the same reason, we're going to go with the Anticipate, because everything else doesn't look particularly good. Greenwood Sentinels, better than nothing, right? It's kind of draft chaff, but I don't see any of the other stuff seeing much play, so let's put the Sentinel in our deck. And take the Befuddle. It's a redraw in blue. Also could be a decent enough combat trick against our bigger stuff. Veil of Summer, probably not going to play it, but we'll put it in the side, and probably not going to play that either. Our next rare, Dungeon Geists. Well, if we're going for the blue plan, that's a decent enough spell. What else have we got? Chandra's Spitfire. Could be good. We got removal in Sleep Paralysis. If we go for that blue. It's black for murder. But we're not really set up for black. I think we're kind of teamer if we're pushing it. But I want to try and keep in the green-red pile, but that Dungeon Geist is looking pretty tasty, to be honest. Can I do a Bird Grabber? Because he is the cutie. He's a little cutie after all, but we have no flyers. So I can't see myself doing that. I think I take Sleep Paralysis and maybe start thinking about putting some stuff in that is blue. I need more fixing, though. Maybe some more Gift of Paradises. Some dual lands, perhaps, that are blue. Blue-green or blue-red. That'd be nice. I should probably, if I'm going to take a blue card, though, it should probably be the rare and hope that Paralysis comes back. Again, I'm not entirely sure if we're running this. I want more fixing before I can justify it. Ooh, Chandra, Acolyte of Flame. That's pretty cool. It's more elementals. Do we have any of the -2 shenanigans? We don't really. We could maybe set some up, but how much of the instants and sorceries are we going to be putting in this deck? Feels like we're putting auras and creatures in most of all. So maybe it's not the pick. I think we might be forcing Teema, to be honest. There's Dragon Mage. That's never happening. That's never happening in a million years. I might sooner take sleep paralysis. I'm not sure. I feel like I'll get shouted at if I don't take this, though. I don't know. I'm going to take sleep paralysis. Might start shifting. Ooh, Risen Reef. Alright, I think that is enough reason. And in Evolving Wilds, hopefully it comes back. That's enough reason for me to start shoving blue in my deck. That's for certain. More Risen Reefs, the better, please. We got an Elemental Wizard that has flying and haste. This seems very nice. Definitely. We didn't take that Chandra, and Shock would have been nice, and these Infuriates would have been also quite useful. I think it was 3 or less as well, so we could maybe flash back an Act of Treason. We'll have to see. I don't think she'll come back, but I think I'm going to take the Lightning Stormkin. Let's work on some of our sideboard stuff, because some of this is coming back in, I think. Dungeon Geists, definitely. Since we got the Gift of Paradise, we can make double blue, so that shouldn't be too bad. And then we can bring in our removal in Sleep Paralysis. Might bring in Befuddle and Anticipate. Not entirely sure just yet. But let's look at what we've got right now. Could do Chandra's Embercat. 2/2 for 2 that can ramp out some of my elementals, which we've started getting a few. We've got the Scampering Scorcher, which is a brilliant combo with the Risen Reef. If we can make more Risen Reef shenanigans, that'd be pretty sweet. It's a shame you're not a dinosaur elemental, isn't it? And then, obviously, you're pretty tasty as well. Overall, this pile does look a little bit weak. I think we'll probably want to take the Ember Kitty. Just as the elemental and the potential for ramp into Scorcher, things like that. But honestly, I'm not blown away. It's probably going to be cut later down the line unless we get a decent elemental synergy. Lavakin Brawler. Definitely something that I'm interested in, but there's another Rugged Highlands as well. What's the odds of that coming back? Oh, baby. I want to take this. Reckless Airstrike, by the way, was the plummet effect that I was thinking of. 3 damage to a creature with flying or destroy an artifact. It was kind of a slightly worse plummet, but also more utility to it. I think we've got to take the Brawler, right? Got to take the Brawler and hope Highlands comes back for this hand. Maybe even see Pattern Matcher come back if we've got multiples, but right now we're kind of in singleton mode, so I don't expect Pattern Matcher to do too much. We'll take the Brawler for now. Ferocious Pup and Anticipate are our options here. I guess you could also call Act of Treason a good option. I don't know. We have no real sacrifice effects like Bone Splinters, so we can't really take advantage of killing things. I think it might just be like Ferocious Pup. Or Anticipate. Anticipate's reasonable, I suppose. Digs through our deck, finds us some better pieces. If we can get some consistency in our deck, that would be pretty sweet. I'm going to take Anticipate. Put the other one in. Trying to justify a 3-color deck. We'll find out if it's real bad in due time. Netcaster Spider is pretty decent. 3 mana, 2/3 with Reach. When it blocks a creature with flying, gets +2/+0 until the end of the turn. So, gonna block all them flyers. I like it. Ooh, it makes a very awful noise that no spider has ever made. Brightwood Tracker. 4 mana, 2/4. You pay 6 and look at the top 4 cards of your library. Reveal a creature card from among them, put it into your hand. The rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Huh. That's not too bad. That's some late game power, right? I don't know if I'd put too many of them on my deck. I certainly wouldn't play many of these cards, to be honest. I'm going to take the tracker. I'm going to see how well the tracker works. I've never tried it. But this might be the exact time to do it. We're back on the Smuggler plan. And I do have a few more 2/2s that Smuggler can make unblockable. So I think to stop board stalls, I'm going to take the Smuggler. We've got another Sentinel, an Aeronaut, or a Wolfkin Bond. I think I'd sooner take the Flying Aeronaut. Doesn't block flyers, but it attacks as one, which is okay. Could give it like the Feral Invocation, and then it's pretty decent. Well, we got the Plummet. Not sure if I will play it, but it sure as hell came back. Zephyr's Charge into the side. Airstrike into the side for now. And we did not get that Rugged Highlands. Did get a Temple of Malady, though. But I already have 4. What's the pick? It's probably Cloudkin Seer if I had to make a quick decision. Elemental, Flyer, draws a card. It's pretty decent. I like the card draw that we've got available to us now. It looks like we're kind of going... I don't know if there's a way for us to check proper stats in the screen. Probably not until the end, but it seems like we've gotten kind of an even split of the 3 colours. It's a shame we don't have an even split of the mana base, but we'll have to take Rugged Highlands into account as well as the Gift of Paradise. But yeah, it's kind of like green-red with a heavy splash on blue currently, I would say. But I like the Cloudkin Seer. I have no issues with it whatsoever. Meteor Golem. Winged Words is very nice. We're really drawing cards in this deck. Good God. And we don't have any, like, I win the game kind of cards, though, which is a shame. I'd love to see one of those, but it's probably too late to actually see them in Pack 3 and several picks down. We're not really going to see a Mythic, I don't think. But this is solid. Maybe we've got enough card draw at this point. I might want the Golem. We've also got a fair bit of ramp. We've got our synergy with our Risen Reef. He's getting lost in all of the card styling here. Kind of blends in too much. I don't like it. But we got the ramp there. We got the Gift of Paradise. We got the Leafkin Druids. We could probably make a 7-drop work. And with 2 Anticipates, I think we've got enough card draw, as well as the Risen Reef, the Cloudkin Seer. We're going to be going through our deck decently enough, and I do kind of want to not make my deck as greedy on the mana, if I can help it, so let's take that. Air Elemental, I guess, is our pick. Oh no, actually, Gift of Paradise down here. Probably want to take that 3-colour deck, want to enable it as best as I can. Air Elemental's pretty sick, but if I can't cast my cards, the game's already over, so let's just take the Gift of Paradise. Hope we'll get some good cards back. More removal in Sleep Paralysis seems decent enough. Could take Rule of Law. Good stuff. No, let's go with Sleep Paralysis, please. Rapacious Dragon, Unsummon. Another Netcaster Spider. That curve's looking actually reasonably decent, if I do say so myself. Plenty of 2-drops, plenty of 3-drops. Well, we don't really remove anything until the 4-drop slot, but we do have ramp in our early game slots anyway, so, you know. I'd like to be able to deal with things before turn 4, but I don't know. Maybe we could put in the Unsummon if it's really that bad. Don't think I want to actually run that Unsummon. I think we've seen a few growth cycles go through. I don't think I'm going to pick it, but it's certainly a consideration. Could even see a Sedge Scorpion as an early game play as well. It's basically just going to stop all of their biggest threats. It's very annoying. I know that for a fact on my side. I really hate seeing a Sedge Scorpion blocking my big stuff. I could see that being the pick. Also another Netcaster Spider. I'm torn between these two for sure. What about a Rapacious Dragon? Does ramp us into the Meteor Golem for whatever that's worth. Probably not much, to be honest. It's not an elemental, so I can't use the Ember Cat. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take an early Sedge Scorpion. Another Gift of Paradise. Yep, I'm liking that. Octoprofit's also pretty decent, though. But I want to make sure that this mana base works for me. So I'm going to take a Gift of Paradise. That's probably going to be the last one that I pick if any more show up. I'm not sure if any will, to be honest. I guess another Unsummon is the pick here. There's nothing really on colour except for a Plummet, which is fine, but that's all it really is. I'll just take an Unsummon. Ringleader is unplayable in our deck. We've got another Anticipate. Could take the third Anticipate for the deck. So yeah, it's probably the best pick, honestly. Keldon Raider. Artifact or enchantment removal in the natural end. How likely is that going to be relevant in this format? I mean, we can hit Gift of Paradises from our opponent. I'm trying to think what they could run. Pacifisms, Sleep Paralysis. I guess there is a fair bit of aura-based removal. And also Meteor Golems. Natural End could hit some stuff. Is it better than the Keldon Raider? I have no graveyard synergy, so the discard is pure downside. We're not really drawing cards with this, but it is a 4-mana 4/3. It's not amazing. I might take the Natural End. I'm not sure if I'll run it, though, so I'll just stick it in the side for now. Negates. Metropolis Sprite is a decent flyer. Attacks as a 2/1 if they don't have any flyers, and I don't really see myself running any of these other cards. Negate is kind of sideboard tech. Yeah, I'll just take Metropolis Sprite. Salvager of Ruin. 3-mana 2/1. Target permanent card in your graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn. Return it to your hand. So if one of our big things dies, we can trade up maybe with a Salvager of Ruin. It's better than the rest. I'm going to take it. Fortress Crab into the sideboard. I think we're just going to get the chaff at this point. There's a Fire Elemental. I'll take a Fire Elemental. Dragon Rage or a Maniacal Rage. +2/+2 and can't block. It's a shame we didn't see any Season of Growths. I think they're in M20, right? That would have been a nice card draw engine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are in M20 because Omniscience Draft was full of them. We just didn't see any. I think it was M20 that they were doing that with. I wish this was +2/+2 and Menace. The +2/+2 and can't block is not amazing. I could stick it on like a Brawler or a Shifting Ceratops though and be in a decent position. This could also be a 7/6, which is a nice body. Stick it on a flyer. We close out the game pretty quickly that way. Could get some extra activations on the Metropolis Sprite. It's definitely better than Dragon Mage, so let's just shove it in, and I don't really want to trade down my mana. Yay, we got 40 gems, because I pretty much have every single rare in this set. I was hoping for a mythic I didn't have, but honestly there aren't that many. Alright, so we've got to make 10 cuts from this deck. Well, we're kind of nicely blocked into here, so that's interesting. How do I value Unsummon? Because if I value it a lot, I can bring in the next one, and then I'll have to cut something else. I guess what I should look for is things that I'm not blown away by in this particular pile. Also, are we running 17? Yeah, we're almost like a perfect split on colour, so we really have to hope that we hit those Gift of Paradises. I can probably go down this forest. I feel like I can do that with 3 gifts. Fixing my mana anyway, and we've got this Rugged Highlands here as well, so let's just cut a land right out the gate. And hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us. I think I'll try without the Unsummon. From there, where do we go? How good's Ember Cat? Ember Cat takes me straight into Scorcher and Brawler, which is a nice place to be. It also ramps me to the Fire Elemental as well, so that was a good pickup. Didn't really make a note on the elemental type there. It's probably the first time there. Fire Elemental's been better than it is just draft chaff. Probably Salvager. It seems pretty situational. We have to probably play this post-combat for our opponent not to like play around it. And honestly, I don't think I've got too much here to actually bring back that I care about. So I think I'll cut the Salvager. If I'm looking for things to cut, that's definitely on my list. Sentinel, probably a bit weak. I'm not blown away by the Aeronaut. I've got plenty of flyers. I've got the Cloudkin Seer, the Metropolis Sprite, the Stormkin, Dungeon Geist, which is a really good flyer. We can suit them up, so I don't think a 3/2 that gains flying occasionally on turn 4 is necessarily where I'm looking. It's not terrible, but it's not great. How's our removal? Let's have a look at our removal. So we can kind of call Sedge Scorpion removal, but it's mostly a delay tactic, so let's not include that, shall we? Feral Invocation's kind of a combat trick. I'm going to include that. That's kind of removal. That's obviously removal. And I think that's really it as far as removal's concerned. It's a little bit light. Definitely don't want to cut any of these. They're definitely here to stay. I guess I could just pull the cards that are like, definitely do not cut. So Scorpion. Bark-Eyed Troll, now that we're 3 colours, is a little bit risky. I might cut it, to be honest. It was solid when we were 2 colours, but when we were 3, it's just getting a little bit... I don't think it's worth it. If we get like double green in the first couple of turns, it's really good, but if we get it late game, it's just a 2-mana 3/3 with hexproof and becomes a 2/2, so... I think because of our 3-colour mana base, I probably want to cut that card and see what we can do there. We got plenty of draw, so I could see cutting 1 Anticipate at the very least. I kind of want to keep the Scampering Scorcher, obviously want to keep the Risen Reef, obviously want to keep the Gift of Paradise. Smuggler's got some really good targets, honestly. Nearly everything in my deck is a 2-power creature. Which is pretty interesting. Like, I could make this Lavakin Brawler unblockable and then attack with it, and we've got some decent elemental synergy here. Probably not as good as everybody else's elemental synergy. Don't get me wrong, but we'll see. Do I want the Brightwood Tracker? It is a good, like, I had nothing to do on my turn end step play. So, like, if you get loads of lands over and over again, this kind of gets you out of that rut that you find yourself in the late game. I'm interested in testing this out. I'm not entirely sure if it's going to be good, but I want to experiment a little bit. I want to see what's going on with this card. So we're going to keep it in for now. Maybe cut it later. We can always cut like midway through the draft if we're losing pretty damn badly. Probably I almost don't want to get rid of the Maniacal Rage. I could see myself maybe getting rid of the Anticipates though. Our draw is pretty reasonable, as it stands. Yeah, let's cut the Anticipates. If I'm struggling to find something to cut here, I think maybe cutting down on the blue a little bit is probably a good idea. Might want to go down to like 4 islands and then bring some of these up or something like that. Since we got the Gift of Paradise to fix our blue as well. And our blue is actually kind of... mostly not relevant until a little bit later in the game. We don't really need any blue on anything except for like turn 2. And I guess you could maybe say that we need a little bit more blue for the Metropolis Sprite since its activation is a little bit expensive. I could see myself cutting it for that reason as well. Got 17 creatures in here. Feels like that's the right amount of balance, right? I can never remember if that's the perfect balance. I'm sure it is. I'm going to go with it being amazing. Positive attitude, guys. Positive attitude. But I think, like, if I'm going to cut something, it might actually be the Metropolis Sprite. Maybe the Ember Cat. This ramps into so much, and so does this. I like it all. I like it all. I'm going to go with the Sprite. I think this is maybe what I'm going to cut for the cut here. I could see maybe another land. I've cut one already, though. But with, like, Gift of Paradise, Risen Reef, you know, we're ramping a little bit more. Obviously, Leafkin Druid, Ember Cat. Is that all my ramp? I think that's all my ramp. There is a fair amount there, to be fair. Yeah, let's go with a sprite. Let's go with a sprite. I don't like the sprite. I do like the sprite. Don't get me wrong. I do actually enjoy the sprite. I don't know. You know what? YOLO. We're going 41 card special, boys. If I can't make my mind up, keeping that 41st card. I'm sure people will hate me for that. I'm sure people will hate me for the decisions I've made during this draft. But, you know, it's my draft, and I do what I want. But anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get into some gameplay. Let's see how this deck performs. Let me know what you would have gone for down in the comment section below. I'm curious to see your thoughts. Do you think this deck is good? Do you anticipate it being really garbage? I'm curious. It's probably going to be amazing, though, because positive attitude. Let's do this. Okay, we're in, and this hand looks reasonable. We've got our Dungeon Geist, which we don't really want to see until after we've got a Gift of Paradise, but we do have our colours fixed, and Leafkin Druid gets us to our 3-mana plays. So, you know, we're going to have to hope that we get some good stuff off the top, but I'm fairly confident this one will work out in my favour. We'll see. What is our opponent doing? I believe they mulliganed. Yes, down to 6. And we are on the draw as well, so keep that in mind. We'll be happy if we see another land. We'll be happy if we see something that we can play our ramp spells into. And we got a land, so not too bad. Ah, woo, says the land. More not blue lands. Okay. Well, there's no reason to show them our blue just yet. Let's go with the Leafkin Druid. And we are set up to sleep paralysis if they play something that we don't like. Otherwise, I could see myself getting aggressive with a Maniacal Rage on my Leafkin Druid. Doesn't seem terribly useful, but you never know. What's our opponent doing? Loaming Shaman, 3/2. Can shuffle cards in. Sure. Well, if I swing in with my Feral Invocation, I can definitely trade off a Loaming Shaman. Not entirely sure it's all that worth it, but interesting. A 3/2 with haste. I think we'll just, like, try to get him with a Feral Invocation. I don't know if I really want to do that, to be perfectly honest, but I don't see much better options. The other option is just being really slow and allowing our opponent to stabilize. I've definitely got to make a decision soon, though. So otherwise, I'm going to get timed out. Oh no! We 0-3'd them. See if they block. See if we can get them. I would, oops. But it would give the plan away. Alright. Plan established. It's working. We got them. In the most underwhelming combat trick of all time. We have a 2/5. It's a decent blocker, though, I guess. If they've got a murder, I don't really care. What I really want to see here is them play something really decent and us play blue land into Dungeon Geists. That'd make me happy. Other than that, though, we can, like, Goblin Smuggler and keep the Leafkin Druid attacking, unblocked. Rotting Regisaur! Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Poor opponent. Sleep paralysis is definitely going to be a thing. How do we want to go about doing this? Because I can sleep paralysis that Rotting Regisaur just fine. They need a naturalize effect to get it into play. But this will tap the creature as well, so even if they had a naturalize effect, they'd have to wait a little while, and by that point I can probably Gift of Paradise into Dungeon Geists just fine. 1, 2, 3... Yeah, I can't actually Dungeon Geist this turn, right? So lock that down. Opponent be discarding every upkeep for a tapped 7/6. Decent value, opponent. And they got a Plummet. Alright. We got that out of them, which makes this Dungeon Geists pretty sick, and makes me glad that Sleep Paralysis is the lockdown tool of choice. And what's next? This is a pretty good card to get. Wow, they got all the black cards. Power to you, opponent. So this can get +3/+3 and Death Touch until the end of the turn. And they're going to go ahead and do that for reasons. Reasons, guys. Reasons. Okay. So we go reds, green, and we'll stick it on the red land, I suppose. Let's go Gift of Paradise on our mountain. And let's just get in for 2, I guess. Yeah, I don't really want to block the knight. Could get down the Maniacal Rage on it, but all I'll do is just hold back their knight with Death Touch and sadness will resolve. So let's just get aggressive. We did it. I could have put the Maniacal Rage on though. For sure. Alright. They're now on top decks, thanks to our Sleep Paralysis. Pretty good stuff. Vampire of the Dire Moon with Death Touch. So I'm going to take the opportunity here to Dungeon Geist and lock down the Knight of the Ebon Legion, I think. Stays tapped as long as we have a Dungeon Geists around. Metropolis Sprite. Okay, so we'll go Dungeon Geists. And we'll lock down Knight of the Ebon Legion because it's big and thick. And unfortunately, it tapped all of my blue. It's definitely possible to play Metropolis Sprite this turn, but it chose not to allow me to do that. So we could have gone 2 blue, 3, 4, and then had plenty to do with that. I don't really want to put Maniacal Rage on a tapped out or a summoning sick creature either, and I don't really want to attack into a Vampire of the Dire Moon, so I'm going to pass here. Gotta hope that our opponent does not draw some decent removal, but we will be swinging for 5 a turn, so the clock will be on soon enough. They've got a Greenwood Sentinel. She's absolutely not going to cut it. And yeah, I'm liking where we're at. Can get in with a Vampire if they want, but then I can get in with my Leafkin Druid. So it's not really going to be a profitable attack for them. Another Gift of Paradise. Alright, how do we want to go about doing this? Because I do want to put the Maniacal Rage on my Dungeon Geists. So that's kind of set in stone. From there we could do... I don't even know if we want to block either of these two, so I could tap down this to play a Metropolis Sprite off of a Gift of Paradise. I'm fine with that. Gift of Paradise onto here. Can activate their Knight of the Ebon Legion anytime they want. Gain some life. Play down a Sprite, and we've got a decent attacking force in the air now. And let's say go. 5 at you. Opponent can never hold combat tricks in their hand thanks to their Rotting Regisaur. And Knight of the Ebon Legion stays locked down because of our Dungeon Geists. They activate their Knight. Good stuff. Alright. Maybe they got a fight spell? What fight spells are in M20? Nope, they got a land. Alright, I have to play it because Rotting Regisaur is just going to make them discard it anyway. No reach. Means we're in a pretty good spot, hitting them for 7. Shifting Ceratops. That can have haste and trample? Can we make that work? We can do Leafkin Druid double. Yeah, so 5, 6, plus another 2. So that's 7, 8. It's not quite lethal, but it's pretty good. Could wait on it. I think we'll probably just, like, get some extra value in, because I don't see us really getting blown out here, to be honest. So let's do green. Shifting Ceratops. And let's go haste and trample. And we'll swing in with the Leafkin Druid as well. Haste. And trample. Getting on in, all attack, baby. Let's go. And we should see some blocks here. Maybe a chomp on the Leafkin Druid and a chomp on the Ceratops. They're really not going to be blocking any damage on the Ceratops. So, yeah, they definitely want to Death Touch that out of the way, which is fine. They block just as much damage blocking the Leafkin as they do the Ceratops anyway, so that Sentinel is getting as much as possible. And now they need a board wipe, because even if we kill the Dungeon Geists here, then the Metropolis Sprite is still going to be able to produce lethal, as well as our double Smugglers here making Leafkin Druid unblockable, so they really have to kill all 3 of our threats here, otherwise the game is over. Blood-Sucked Altar, and yeah, we just play Smuggler. Made this unblockable, and we've just Ruffle Stomped our opponent from start to finish here. And Exaxes, please. There we go. Alright. That went pretty well. You saw the Gift of Paradises right when we needed them. We even got all of our rares in one go. So, you know, we got to see a decent showing from this deck. Pretty good, pretty good. Let's go for another game. Okay, we're in, and we don't have any green in this hand, and we do kind of need it. Everything's a 3-drop, and we've got 2 lands. I don't know if we can take this one. I might actually accept the mulligan. I need to learn to mulligan a little bit more, and this hand is just not quite up to snuff if we don't find our green source, so yeah, let's go down to 6 here and hope that we get some lands in it. Okay. No blue for the Cloudkin Seer, but we can get rid of that, and we can actually maybe ramp into the Scorcher for a nice aggressive turn. Yeah, I could see that. What card do we want to go down then? I do kind of like the idea of the Cloudkin Seer. It's nice early aggression if we can get the blue source. And sticking a Maniacal Rage on it, making it pretty decent, is also something I've kind of got in mind. Maybe it's going to be the Goblin Smuggler. We've got a couple of copies in here, so we could probably see that card again. I kind of like the dream of getting to this Cloudkin Seer. I want to live the dream. Alright, go Mountain, say go. Just want to give a quick props to Wizards for keeping the Rebecca Gay basics for as long as humanly possible. That definitely makes me happy on so many levels. Alright, well, let's go with Chandra's Embercat. For the record, these are my favourite basic land arts of all time, so I'm very happy that they're default for everything. And, well, we didn't get what we needed, so I guess I'm going to put Maniacal Rage on Chandra's Embercat. Could get punished for that in so many ways, though. But, honestly, we got nothing better to do. Yeah, we could be stranded for quite some time. Let's find out if they've got removal for this. There is Destroy Tapped Creatures in white. I think it's called Aerial Assault. And obviously, Sleep Paralysis also exists, but I feel like all of those really just kind of exist for Cloudkin Seer nonetheless. Yeah, they got the Aerial Assault. Need to hope for a land, and we got one, but not an ideal land. It would have been better as a blue source. I'm going to stick this on the mountain. So we've got nice varied lands. We've got the red, we've got the blue now, and then we've got the forest. We can do Cloudkin Seer, and then Feral Invocation it up, perhaps. I want to see my Risen Reef at some point, for sure. And a Griffin Protector. I think we're fine with that for now. We could maybe Chandra's Outrage it next turn to start pushing through some damage. Or we could Dungeon Geists it. That also seems really good. I'm up for that. This card is sick. It is. It makes me ill, is how sick it is. Alright, they got a Griffin Sentinel. So, Vigilance on that. Ew. That makes me ill. A 1/5 that can start looting. Probably want to deal with that, and Dungeon Geist is currently my answer to it. Everything else is a point short, basically. I don't really want to trade my Cloudkin for a Griffin Sentinel and a Chandra's Outrage, so I think I'm going to go with the Dungeon Geists here. If they don't play creatures, Griffin Protector can't get through. We also shut down the hardcover this way as well, so I kind of like it. There are better options, but if our opponent has no flyers, we're in a good spot. They look to be blue-white flyers, though. So maybe they've got the dreamiest hand of all time. We'll find out. Because it looks like their removal is flying-based. They're in the colours for flying. Empyrean Eagle is the Flying Lord for this set. Now, I've definitely seen flyers being enabled in this format before. Wow, it's just Aura City. My goodness. Now my Dungeon Geist is tapped, so this is a perfect opportunity for an aerial assault if they've got one, but it doesn't look like it. Meteor Golem. Not in a great spot. Nothing really stands out to me here as a good move. We don't want to trade off our Dungeon Geist at all. And these flyers, they have thick booties. We only have 5 mana, so we can't really do the Meteor Golem to kill Griffin Protector, which would be ideal. We could maybe set up a situation where we can do something like that. Maybe just hold the Chandra's Outrage to just keep this at bay. Yeah, I think just passing is really all we've got to do here. Glaring Aegis has done its job. It has an ETB, and then the rest is just power and toughness adapting. Moorland Inquisitor. Not too fussed about that. But that is a 4/7 Griffin Protector. I could go with a Feral Invocation on my Dungeon Geists, which gives me enough booty power to actually block the Protector, but if they've got any pump spells, we do get a little bit blown out by that. I don't think it's worth the risk, honestly. I think I'm just gonna say no blocks and then probably just end step it onto the Geists. I think I'd rather just wait until Meteor Golem is castable, or maybe get something better as a removal. Maybe something I'd rather 2 for 1. Oh, Sleep Paralysis. There you go. Isn't that lovely? So we can get him for 7 now, which is half their life total, which is pretty sick. And then we can just lock down the Griffin Protector as long as they don't have a negate. Shouldn't have too much trouble. Ooh, they got a Befuddle. Okay, that's fine. It's better than an Unsummon getting rid of my Invocation, I suppose. But I would probably... I don't even know if I would reattach it to Griffin Protector or the Griffin Sentinel, to be honest. Because I don't really want them drawing and discarding. I certainly don't want them having thick booty power. So let's get that thick booty power locked out. And just hope that we don't see any more. We've got the Chandra's Outrage to push through some damage. We were putting them on a 2-turn clock up until that Befuddle. So hopefully we can keep doing that. Honestly, at this point, I'm happy to just see lands. Because that just gets us to the Golem. I'm sure this Griffin Protector or Griffin Sentinel won't be the way that they are for very long. Alright, they should get in with the Inquisitor, because it's never going to block. And we did draw a land, which is very nice. We do have the Scampering Scorcher now for an extra 3 points, so just 1 point short. And honestly, they're dead to the Chandra's Outrage if all of this goes through. So we're going for it. We're absolutely going for it. Could have a Convolute. They don't. And yeah, we just get in there. No Settle the Wreckage in this format, my friends. They do have Unsummons. Maybe that's what they're going for. Another Befuddle. Alright. They're still taking a fair amount of damage, though. And I think we got him. There's 2 damage on this Chandra's Outrage, which can also get rid of a blocker. Potentially, anyway. It should get rid of almost every blocker that they could present here, short of them putting more enchantments on. And yep, we got him again. Alright. Yeah, this deck's pretty cool, actually. We ranked up. Not that it matters. I have to get to silver before it actually matters, and I don't think you can do silver from bronze 4 in one draft. That's probably all that's going to happen until rotation, so yeah, 2-0. I'm liking this deck. I have no reason to change it whatsoever. Let's keep going. Alrighty then, let's have a look-see, and as awesome as all of these cards are, and I want to see most, if not all of them during the game, this is a problem. So we're going to go mulligan this hand away, and this is a problem. But we do have, like, some decent cards all the same. I think the Brightwood Tracker is probably something that I'd want to see in the late game. So I'm not too interested in keeping that, so I guess I could probably take this hand. We just need to find some green mana at some point, and we can slow the game down to a crawl with our Sedge Scorpion, presumably. So let's get rid of the Tracker. I'm going to keep this, and especially being on the draw as well. There's plenty of opportunity to just draw really good cards and be really absurdly lucky, like playing Lightning Stormkin on turn 2 into a Maniacal Rage. And having plenty to do in my time. That's an Apostle of Purifying Light, protection from black, which is not what we are. And 2 mana to exile a target card from a graveyard, also not what we're interested in doing, so let's get on in. Hit you for 2. We want to see this Stormkin live until a very, very old age, so we can get this Lavakin Brawler down. This is only for each elemental you control. It's not even for each attacking elemental, so we got some good stuff there. We still haven't found our green mana, but honestly with this hand we really just don't really need it. So let's just get our Stormkin bigger than their Griffin Sentinel and just keep on swinging. We actually are winning this race, so not too interested in blocking. Maniacal Rage obviously stops us from doing that. I'm sure later down the line I will probably forget that that is the case. They have a Manifold Key, so they can make a creature unblockable. So this game is definitely coming to a halt pretty quickly. Whether that's in our favour or not is to be determined. We've got a Cloudkin Seer. Alright, so probably what I want to do is lead off with the Lavakin Brawler, mostly because on the attack, this actually is just going to get pumped like crazy with this hand. I do really like Cloudkin Seer as a way to draw probably the green source I'm looking for, but our green at this point is just kind of a wash. I shouldn't really even be playing this right now. I should be playing it post-combat. It's a nasty habit that I never really got out of doing in my youngin' age. So we're going to see a little bit of a block. Are we getting a pump out of our opponent? There is a Death Touch card, right? Yeah, Blade Brand. Alright, well, traded off our Stormkin. It's not amazing. I'm not too pleased to see that happen, but we get a plus 4 if we play the Scampering Scorcher on our Lavakin Brawler. Given Flying. So the Cloudkin Seer isn't on a clear path to victory. And there's a Marauder's Axe as well. So pretty much most stuff here. Oh, they tapped out. I am your worst nightmare, brother. Let's get that Scampering Scorcher going for some absurd damage while they are actually unable to block. Beautiful. At this point, what I want to see is my Goblin Smuggler to make my Lavakin Brawler unblockable. Swing in for lethal, that's going to be pretty sweet. But honestly, if they attack him with that Apostle and don't put anything back that can live through a Chandra's Outrage, they're going to be in big trouble. They got a Cavalier of Night, though. Alright, so they were able to get the job done. It's even got lifelink, which is less than ideal. And now we start seeing cracks in our game plan. We're going to go swinging, though, because I do actually want to trade the Cavalier off with the Scampering Scorcher. What does this thing do? Returns a creature card with converting mana cost 3 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield when it dies. So they can pull either one of these two back. But all I'm doing is trading a 1/1 anyway, so yeah, let's hope that they don't go for the Griffin Sentinel, instead go for the Apostle. So then we can play the Cloudkin Seer pretty much uncontested. They are going to gain some life here, though. But, you know, gaining 4, losing 2. We lose a 1/1. And we get some decent removal. We also hit them for 2 there as well, so while it doesn't work out to be amazing, it's okay. Let's see which one they go with. We're going to go with the Griffin Sentinel. Less than ideal, but we do have the Cloudkin Seer, and if we draw some green mana, we have the Feral Invocation as well. But they could be stabilizing at this point. I'm going to stick the +2/+0 on the Chaplain to try and gain some life out of the situation. Alright, come on green mana. Show yourself. Come on. You can do it. Sleep Paralysis. Well, that's not really going to help us too much, because of the Chaplain gaining more life than our Cloudkin Seer can deal. So we're not really going to lock down the Sentinel and get away with this one, unfortunately. If they drop down one more blocker, then our elementals can't get in either. Ew. Alright, take 3 from the Scourger. And we're going... This is 3 mana, right? It is 3 mana. So they can't do anything with this. They can untap the Marauder's Axe. That's the thing they could do. But equipment does not tap when you attack with the equipped creature. Fun fact. Ew. Well, it keeps on going, doesn't it? It's the gift that keeps on refusing to give. Alright, let's get rid of this Griffin Sentinel. So we can at least attack him with our Cloudkin Seer, but we're on a pretty quick clock from our opponent's ground assault here. Let's play our lands just in case we get something we'd like to cast. Untap another artifact. You did it. Alright, down to 4. Battalion Foot Soldier. Let's find out how many our opponent drafted. It's a pretty good draw for them. Mostly because it's gonna be able to... Oh, they got 2. My goodness. It's gonna be able to put a clock on us that we can't really do much about. But if they hold back that Chaplain, they're gonna lose. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's just get a little bit of chump blocking going, I guess. Is there anything that would make me want to not block? I don't think so. I think pretty much everything that I've got is ETB after the fact for elementals. I'm just going to block some of it for now. Up to 7, but I think we've lost this game. I think they stabilized, unfortunately. Untaps the Marauder's Axe, and just in time, we get our green mana. Good stuff. So we could play down a Sedge Scorpion as a Death Toucher. Could keep our opponent back. Just going to be taking too much, though. We chump Sedge Scorpion there. Chump Elemental there. Take 4. This is better than nothing. I still don't think we can really do much here to actually win the game. I think we're 1 point short of actually making a difference here, because if we could actually get the Invocation blockable and another Foot Soldier, yeah. If we could get the Invocation to do 1 extra point and we stop them from getting in with the Chaplain, then there's maybe some hope for us, but yeah, we're just forced into chump blocking in a way that's not very good. Not very good at all. Alright, looks like we're going game 1 down, or game 3 down. And yeah, it was mostly down to our colour screw, I guess. If I was a little bit more aggressive, that 8 points would probably be gone by now. If I'd have got the Invocation on one of my early flyers, perhaps. Something like that, I'm not sure. But, good game to you. We lose. Next game. Alright, we're in, and again, we're stuck on this 1 colour problem. If we drew 1 green mana, it's literally not a problem. But that's a lot of ifs for a hand like this. I don't really want to risk the ifs on that one, but honestly, like, this Gift of Paradise is the double red we need, it's the double blue we need. Just need the land, but if we don't find the land, we just do nothing, so I'm just going to mulligan. Ooh, 1 land, and we're in a good spot. I'm going to keep this one. I kind of want to keep the double Gift of Paradise, but honestly I don't see myself using it. And I really love the Brawler and Scorcher combo here, and we definitely want to keep the Metropolis Sprite, because it's currently the only castable thing in our hand, and as a 2-1 flyer, you know, I kind of want to at least be putting up some sort of a fight against our opponent, if we're going to get colour screwed. Alright, they got a Scorch Spitter, and we got our 3rd land, and it is our 3rd colour as well, so that's really nice to see. Let's go with an island. Nice to see you. To see you nice. Alright, so now we kind of have a turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, turn 5 play. It's pretty good. Pretty much in this order as it currently stands. More lands, not great, but okay. Opponents on the elemental plan for sure. See if they're as risky a boy as I am and gone for 3 colours. It looks like they're sticking to green-red alone. And don't want to push through their 1-power creatures. That's admirable. More lands. Wow. Never stop being you, Arena Shuffler. Never stop being you. Alright, let's go on to the forest. I don't think it particularly matters. And honestly, it's not a profitable attack, so we're going to hold back to block to keep the Healer of the Glade and the Scorched Bitter from attacking us. Because we attack for 1, they attack for much more. It's horrendous. Alright, now we can do the Lavakin Brawler, and suddenly our opponent's forced to get in with their Scorched Spitter, which is better than nothing. And I could have sequenced that better to actually attack as a 2-1. But I'm an idiot. So, you know. Take that as you will. Alright, they got Trample on their Elementals. They're 1-1s. Very high-powered tactics from our opponent here. 4-3 is annoying, though. 4-3 is very annoying. So I can play the Scampering Scorcher, and then I can also activate my Metropolis Sprite. We're going to get some pretty decent value in here. I imagine they're going to trade the Thicket Crasher for the Lavakin Brawler, which I think I'm totally fine with, to be honest. I believe we kind of come out on top on this one. Let's play our Rugged Highlands, activate our Sprite, and all attack. Getting in for the massive amount. Yeah, you can have a 1-1. Help yourself. Alright. Need some good draws. Definitely need some good draws. Let's see our Dungeon Geist. We seem to find that every single game, and I'm happy for that. It makes me happy to see that. It's beautiful. Alright. Sedge Scorpion and a Netcaster Spider to hold back is pretty good, so let's just activate our Sprite. Get in for some good old combat damage. And just start slapping down our big creatures. Again, they're back to now tapping down for their Scorched Spitter. I'm just going to hold this land in hand because I can cast everything in my deck, essentially. All I have to do is make 1 land drop, and then I can even play my Meteor Golem. They got a Lavakin Brawler of their own, which is very bad for us. Honestly, need some good draws. And honestly, a mountain is not a good draw. So, you know, troublesome. Because they can do our plan, which is to make Lavakin Brawler unblockable. And then swing for a hefty amount. Less than ideal. Alright, well. Just get in for 2. Try not to accidentally activate Metropolis Sprite enough to kill it. And yeah, we can't even Sedge Scorpion away the Lavakin Brawler here. So they're hitting us for 5, and then they've got us dead next turn, unless we can kill either the Brawler or the Smuggler here. Nothing we can do about it. Need removal. Good news is most of our removal, I think all of our removal actually, will deal with the Brawler. And for... that's lethal, right? Because they're getting with the Scorched Spitter as well. Can't really stop that. Maybe they don't see it. That's kind of our plan, is to hit them for 2 and hope they don't see that they've got lethal here. Yeah, just really good deck from our opponent. Couldn't quite find what we needed. Definitely flooded out. Our opponent on the 4 lands and all gas. I was on the 4, 5, 6, 7 lands. And pretty mediocre stuff. They actually... well, they had it anyway. Alright, cool. It wasn't quite lethal, actually, because they could only deal 1 extra damage, so it was 6 and not 7, so, you know, it is what it is. They had it anyway. What are we now? 3 and 2? 2 and 2? Something like that. Not very good. Yeah, 2 and 2. Got to keep winning. But hopefully we're now in the losers bracket, and then we'll play against some terrible decks and get some wins. That's usually how the matchmaker works in draft, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. Let's go for another game. Could be our last. Alrighty then, we're in. No red, but I think I'm fine with a Leafkin and an Invocation as my options here. On the draw as well, and I'm happy to find the red source for any of these. We can ramp from Leafkin straight into Brawler, so not too bad. I'm going to take it. Swamp for our opponent. And Duress can take my Feral Invocation. Brave boy playing Duress in draft. Brave boy indeed. Alright, blue, black. Not a colour combo I think I've seen very often. So we'll see how you do. Go Leafkin Druid. Cloudkin Seer is a decent addition to our arsenal. I'd love to see that Risen Reef that we drafted. We haven't seen that in any of our games whatsoever. And this is definitely the hand for a Risen Reef. If it's left unanswered, it's going to draw us a lot of cards. Rampers as well, straight into these Meteor Golems. I really want to see that. Portal of Sanctuary. Ooh. Opponents. Take me to dinner before you show me the good stuff. Alright, let's just play a Cloudkin Seer. Scampering Scorcher. Give me a Risen Reef. Do it. Don't be the way that you are. Also, just give me red mana as well. That's also fine. Gift of Paradise is fine. Less than ideal. I'd rather just have a red source that comes into play untapped. I have to be very specific about that, because we do have a Rugged Highlands. And no doubt, if I'm not specific enough, the game will pick up on that. Heart Piercer Bow. Deals 1 damage to a creature player controls. Good stuff. We did it. Alright, so we can do Lavakin Brawler. And then from there we can do like Scampering Scorcher, which will hopefully give this some nice thick attacking power. Opponent with the Anticipate to find the perfect answer. Still haven't seen our opponent playing any creatures, so this portal's not looking too impressive, nor is the Heart Piercer Bow, but no doubt they've got something. They might have the combo. There's Dragon Vial, and then there's also a dude that searches out these bows. I hear that this bow combo is quite the thing. You can just like draft like 6 or 7 bows, and then it just like machine guns things down. Sage's Road Denizen. Whenever another blue creature enters the battlefield under your control, target player puts the top 2 cards of the library into their graveyard. Well, my opponent's on the rudeness plan of trying to kill my X1s. I'm not about that. So I'm thinking about going for... Can I do this, actually? I think I might... Yeah, I'm 1 mana short of a Chandra's Outrage. But, I mean, we're going for Scampering Scorcher anyway, so... I think this is just aggressive enough to not really care too much about the Heart Piercer Bow. They're not going to kill anything except for a 1/1 on the block. They are going to kill a Cloudkin Seer on the attack, but then they have to open this Lavakin Brawler up to another one of these hits. So maybe they chump the 8/4. Alright, well, they're confident enough that they can take care of the Brawler. We shall see. I do really need that double red, and it's going to need some setup from Gift of Paradise unless I can get a red source off the top, which is real bad. I suppose I do have the Goblin Smuggler to give unblockable, and it's giving +4/+0. So I could do Smuggler, or I could do Gift of Paradise onto a land. Yeah, I think we got lethal here if they don't have a counterspell. Running Negates. Really regretting tapping my red source down there. Good damn it. Alright, well, fine. We probably missed lethal there by tapping incorrectly. I wasn't really expecting anyone in their right minds to actually play Negate. But we get rid of the Blood Burglar, so there's no lifelink on their turn. We're going to be able to take down one of my 1/1s, and we have a Chandra's Outrage set up for that, so I think we got them. Denizen hits a 1/1 And we don't block, because we have lethal. Short of unsummon, I guess. And we drew more red. So, ping you. 2 to your face. And get swinging. You and you. And 6 damage. Yeah, misplayed a little bit there. But we weren't punished. So it's fine. Don't worry about it. Alright. Victory. Let's go to the next game. I think we are now 3-2. We're still hanging on by a thread. But if we can get another win, I'm going to be happy. Okay, we have turn 1 Sedge Scorpion. Hopefully we draw an island. We get our Stormkin or Sprite down. I'm not sure if this is a keep. I definitely see the argument for mulliganing, because there's 3 cards that I can't cast in it. I have been mulliganing a little bit better than I have in the past, and this is kind of my old ways seeping through of, oh, I'll just get lucky, it's fine. No, I think the odds are probably against me, in all fairness. So I don't really want to rely on a Sedge Scorpion to carry me, because if they're just playing flyers, we're not really stopping anything. I'm going to mulligan that, and I'm deeply regretting my decision, because this hand is severely worse. Our opponent also mulliganed, so let's go again. Alright, this hand looks good. I actually like this hand a fair amount. We do have to get rid of 2 cards from it. So, which cards do we want to get rid of? We're going to be playing Gift of Paradise on 3, so we've got the double blue, so I can see getting rid of an island just fine. From there, is it probably Lavakin Brawler? Because we don't have the elementals right now. I hate not seeing it during my game because it is an absolute powerhouse. An absolute machine. The maddest elemental laddest. It's actually a ladette, it seems. But, yeah, I'm going to keep this hand. Alright, turn 1, Rugged Highlands. Say go. And Scorch, Spitter. A lot of red in this this draft, it seems. Alright. I guess it's because elementals are kind of like the go-to for this format. Well, for M20 in general. It was a little bit pushed. Go without saying. But it's red-white, actually, so... Daybreak Chaplain. Again, I'm kind of hoping that they play something that's worthy of a Dungeon Geist tap-out, but I guess Shifting Ceratops is also just decent enough. So let's play down our Gift of Paradise. Going to stick it on, I guess, the Forest. I think on the off chance that we get a Metropolis Sprite and maybe something to pump it up so we have extra activations, we want as much blue as possible, so I think putting the Gift on the Forest is probably better. And obviously this has already got its variety in there. Alright. They're doing it. We got the Brightwood Tracker, which until we get to 6 mana is not going to do us too much good. But I think we've got the decent Dungeon Geist target here with the Goblin Smuggler. I could wait on it as well, though. Go with Shifting Ceratops with haste. They're attacking me for 5 with a 1-point life swing, so we're not really winning the race, but... I mean, in the long run, we probably will get there with a Ceratops. I'm kind of holding out in greed mode for the Dungeon Geist to get more value. I think there's probably better things, like, if I play this, they play something that can block it pretty well, and then we lock it down with the Dungeon Geists. Then we have a decent blocker for their attackers. And then we're still getting in with the Shifting Ceratops. So let's try this out. Give a 5 damage tickle to the face. Tickle, my friend. Windscarred Craig. And Moreland Inquisitor. Alright. They have gone wide. They're doing it. And we got a Sleep Paralysis, which is... not as good as a Dungeon Geists. We can still play pretty much everything and still attacking with our shifting Ceratops. So I'm going to go do that. Get in here. We can activate Trample if they do block, which of course they're not going to. And I'm torn between playing the Dungeon Geists on what appears to be some pretty mediocre cards. I think I'll probably lock down the Goblin Smuggler, to be honest. Yeah. I want to get something down that can block the rest of their stuff. Try not to incentivize them attacking that much. Honestly, though, would I want to block with the Dungeon Geists? Not so sure on that one. Dagger Sail Aeronaut. Well, now I do want to block with the Dungeon Geists. They've just made it so much nicer for me. Because there's nothing here that can benefit from a good attack. So, I mean, they can push through some damage, and obviously they will get some damage through, but it's not a great amount of damage. We can do a sleep paralysis on the Aeronaut, perhaps. Maybe we'll go for the Tracker, honestly, though. I'm not sure. How much mana have we got? 2 mana left over after one of these spells, so we can't cast both of them. I could see myself using the Tracker as a blocker, taking damage from the Aeronaut. I wish this thing had Vigilance. Could I trade? I don't know. I almost wish I would trade one of these keywords for Vigilance instead. Maybe it's too broken at that point, I'm not sure. It's probably too broken. Alright, let's play an island. Gotta think about how we want to block next turn. I think we want to just swing in with a lot of stuff. I don't really want to trade off a shifting Ceratops, though, with 2 creatures here, which is obviously what's going to happen if I leave the Aeronaut around, so I think for that reason I probably have to lock this down. Alright, we can get like a 3-for-1 if they quad block here or something like that. We'll see. I think a 2-for-1 is probably what I would expect on the shifting Ceratops. 2-for-1 with a little bit of trample damage, perhaps. We'll see how they block. I mean, there is a good block for them, for sure. We're taking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 next turn. Yeah, I can swing with both. Keep the pressure up. It's 6 if they don't block, and if they don't block, they're in a pretty horrible position, I would say. We've done really well in all of our games to draw all of our rares. That might be why I'm being carried just a little bit here. Not gonna lie. Alright, they're not gonna block, it seems. They do have Soul Mender activation, which obviously they're gonna want to do. Gaining 1 life. They're at 5. And we'll see what we can do. I feel like there's some cards that we can draw here that do win us the game. I don't think we can get exact lethal because of the Soul Mender. They are on like a virtual 7 by our next attack, if they don't attack him with it. Probably a virtual 8, to be honest, because if they block and then tap it, we've got to deal with the trample shenanigans. So I think they're by no means dead next turn. And they drew a mountain. Alright, that's really good for us. See how they choose to attack. Getting in with a few things. Yeah, it looks like they're probably going to do the Soul Mender trick. And we're taking a little bit here. They're going to go up to 7. Virtual 8 with the Soul Mender. And Elemental is not really what I had in mind, but it is a good attacker. Or a good blocker. Good game, they say. They're not dead. So it's a bit of an early GG. I don't know why I even gave them the GG back, to be honest, but... Because we're attacking for 8 here. They're going to block with the Soul Mender and gain 1 life, so they're going to be at 2. If I've done my math correctly, which is dubious at best. So, block. We give trample. But yeah, as I said, we have got them, I think. But we haven't got them this turn. No, they're at 1. I did my math wrong. Don't know where I got 2 from. But let's get down a 5-4, which blocks all of their good stuff. And stops them from really doing much, to be honest. Decent attacker, though, without the trample. It ain't great. So looking at cards like this, yep, that's now I would give you the good game. I don't feel it's too early for that. Yeah, the drew land. I feel really bad for my opponent. It's actually like a salty good game. And I do feel the salt on my opponent. I feel bad. Alright, this thing only gains first strike, so we'll just block there. They're at 2, we swing. And yeah, as I was mentioning, cards like this kind of make me wanna see a little bit of cube in Arena. So that we don't see cards like this, and I don't have to pick cards like this. But, you know, it is what it is. I like cube. Never played cube before, fun fact. But I like cube. I watch a lot of cube videos, and I feel like it's something that Arena can definitely benefit from time to time. But, yep, we are, as we mentioned, ooh, we leveled up, and we got the Chandra Novice Pyromancer card style. Very nice. As we mentioned, we are in the loser's bracket now, which means that we're getting pitted against the worst of the worst, and we're able to beat the worst of the worst. We're definitely not able to beat the best, so I don't expect us to get too many more wins, because as we win more games against the worst, we should get pitted against the best up until this point, so we'll see. Anyway, let's go for another game. Okay then, and this looks pretty familiar. We need a green source for the Gift of Paradise, but we do have a Metropolis Sprite, and if we get stuck on non-green mana, we can still play the Cloud Conceer off of basically any land. I'm happy to see even Rugged Highlands. It'll be a bit slow, but I think I can take this hand. I think I can. On the draw, good chance of seeing another land. And we've got playables, yeah. So we're gonna go Metropolis Sprite and probably Cloud Conceer and get a redraw. Hopefully into a green source. Hopefully into a green source. Please! Please, we've seen Risen Reef once in our entire run. Give me the reef. One time. Alright, our opponent with a Centaur Corsair. And we don't really get the Risen Reef value we dreamed of, unfortunately. But we do get a Cloud Conceer, so let's get in for one. I'm going to try and play my creatures on second main like everybody should do. It's a very bad habit to be in. Oh, well, at least we get another elemental we can play after the Risen Reef, if we draw a green source. Still need it, though. Need the green source. Hand it over. I want to get my Reef value in one game. Shifting Ceratops. Well, we have a perfectly timed Chandra's Outrage for you, buddy. No haste means we can punish that. And yeah, get in 4-3. I'm probably wishing that they'd have waited a turn on that right now, because then it would have been able to give haste. I don't know. We'd have probably left open. I imagine actually maybe we would have gone with the Scorcher, to be honest. But this is the dream. We need a green source. Green source just leads into so much gold. I think this wins us the game if this sticks around. But Shock does exist. Chandra's Outrage does exist. Shock is now gone and off the table. And we drew a Chandra's Ember Cap, which is better than nothing, I suppose. Wait. Attack first, and then play your creatures. Not relevant in this situation, but when it comes to our opponent having all of their mana open, you don't want to give them information that's not relevant to the combat. So, yeah, do that. Rabid Bite. Rude. Alright, there goes Ember Kitty. It's fine, we still need our green source, though. How long can we hold off? Every single loss we've had with this deck has been due to missing one colour of our 3-colour combo. Looks like it's not ending today. Alright, well, we can actually play our creature pre-combat for value. So we're going to. I think we go for the all attack here. I'm going to take 5. We do die to another hasty smuggler, so I guess for that reason I'm going to leave 1 back. Just in case. Yeah, one block back. I do still need to pressure my opponent, but I also don't need to be so protective of my life total at this moment in time. Definitely do eventually when we don't draw our green source again. Got reduced to ashes. Okay. But it's only 5 damage. You've got a shock in hand, haven't you? Should have left 2 back, I guess. Well. We got color screwed. We had the dream in hand as well. Just wasn't meant to be. Alright, well, we went 4 and 3. That's 450 gems, plus I think the 40 from picking all the rares that I already had as well. So 750 it cost me to get in here. We got 490 back, so you know what? I'll take that. It was mostly a very cheap draft. We get 2 packs out of it as well, which I'm not excluding. These ones actually do have like guaranteed rares that I don't really care for, honestly. I think like Leyline of the Void is about the only card I want to see, but wild cards, you know? Yeah, that's my 4th shared summons. I didn't really want to see more than 3, honestly. I checked my collection before I started this draft to see how much money I would be wasting on my rares. But yeah, there's Leyline of Void. I have very few rares now that that I don't have in this set. Mythics, I have loads missing, but the game will never give me those mythics, so I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. But hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was a bit of a long video, but I guess that's kind of how draft goes, you know? If you did enjoy these ones and you want to see more, though, let me know down in the comments section below, or you can hit that like button as well. It's another great way to show me what kind of content you're interested in seeing. Hitting that bell icon as well, giving you notifications when the videos like this go live in the future, helps out a great deal. But without further ado, I'm going to end it off here. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.